Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It is time to finally build the character who has deserved to be built on my channel. That's right, it is Qiqi. Now for anyone who sits there and says, I hate losing my 50-50s to Qiqi, how dare you? Okay? I'm gonna say this. Qiqi is not the worst character. In fact, she is my good luck charm. So let's go into her stats real quick and I can talk about why she's my good luck charm. There. So I have her built 70 to 80. Again, this is 1 week 1 build. So I'm going to be getting her to 80-90. We're going to be 90ing out of weapons, building her artifacts as much as we can, and getting her talents to level 6. Currently, she is at 1,000 attack. Honestly, the only thing we really need to work on is ER, crit, doesn't really do much. We just need to get her attack up. She is a healer who scales off of attack. Very easy to build. Right now, I have her on Kagotsubere Ishin. I can technically run her on Sack Sword, which is her best weapon, and it's actually this one that I have on Xingqiu. I have been using that on him until I get him like a Jade Cutter or Mist Splitter, one of those. He's running Sack Sword. And because it's already built, I wanted to try to run Kagotsubere Ishin. Mainly because it is a weapon that's not going to take too much to build. It has absolutely no refinements. And basically, when a normal attack hits an opponent, it'll whip up AoE damage to 100%, 180% of the attack. And increasing attack more by 15%. So if I can get that to hit, I can get increased attack and I can get increased healing for the team. Honestly, you can probably run any sort of attack percent. You could run Kreuzen, Finale of the Deep. Mainly just look at the flute. I've seen a lot of people say use the flute. Lion's Roar if you want. Basically anything with that attack. Hell, if you want to run Cool Steel, you could. But again, you're not doing damage for her. Mainly, if you're going to run the Sacrificial Sword, it's just going to be so that she can reverse all the time. I do have her on a 2-piece Ocean Clam because Stygian's, whatever the one that you get the artifacts from is open. And I've been able to get these two, so this is almost leveled up. And it's pretty dang good. The crit rate you really only need if you're going to run her on Fav. Other than that, you really don't need it. And then I have this attack feather, which I just haven't built up because I was building this up first. I don't have anything else, but I do have this really good healing bonus circlet. I might switch it to this one. You know what? We're gonna do that. Barbara, you don't need the attack. I mean, you don't really need the crit either. That might go on someone else that runs like a Fav. I don't know. I gotta see if I have any Fav healers. So anyways, that's going to change up her stuff a little bit. And her stats are 343. So the biggest issue for Qiqi is going to be getting Ishin leveled up. And the thing is this can work for other characters outside of Qiqi, as well as getting her talents built up. And other than that, she's really easy to build. I don't have that much left to do. I've done so much Cryo Regicide farming. But let's leave the cemetery and head to our testing ground so we can do a good old comparison. Here we are. We are at Masanori. We're actually going to switch to Bennett real quick because I want to do the rotation in its full. God, I forget he like yaps. This is how I'm going to be running Qiqi is on a melt team. Get the ER up. I should have came into this with full ER. That is fine. So, like, we're already doing, like, 15k. Like, just on her skill. Which is, I feel like, not too terrible for everyone else. But the other thing that I want to do is just run her... Shoot. I messed up the rotation. This is the downside to Qiqi, is the fact that her cooldown, it takes like forever. But again, like 2,500. And the main thing that I want to focus on is getting that attack up and trying to find a way where she can continue. Okay, I just took that front. It's fine. Let's see what her regular attack does. Okay. So it looks like it's only a couple hundred, which is fine. 500 to 1,500. So starting out, I end up doing the weekly bosses. I did Signora, Child, and I believe Ashtaha was Cryo for the day. I always feel awkward filming them just because I'm like, I do them in co-op, and I don't want to like bring other people into co-op, you know, onto YouTube. It's just always something that I've always felt a little bit awkward about. But we are running the... I can never remember which one this is. Okay, this is the talent domain. Because I believe we were still at the point where they had everything available, and I figured I would just also show the parametric transformer. I'm not sure why, but I was trying to get some XP books out of it as well as Mora, because I'm always low on Mora, as well as any of the prosperity books for Qiqi. Again, we're kind of grasping at straws, but because I did get one teaching, I counted it. Managed to get her skill all the way up to level 6 for today, and got her burst up to level 5, but of course, we're going to do a little bit of crafting. And we're able to get it up to level 5. This was the thing that I ran into the biggest issue with, is getting the jade crystals. Getting the jade gemstones and all of that. Because I had already taken on her boss so many times. I had did the Cryo so much when I was trying to get Risley's crystals back in the day. And I just did Cryo because it was easy. But the thing is so many, like, the only people that need that boss are the ones that also need the Cryo crystals. So it becomes something that I do where I really try to go and fight the bosses where they don't need the element crystals that they need. So like Frostlight Terra is Nefer's boss, and that's weird. Usually I don't show that. Like she only needs like Dendros, so but it drops like the Hydro and the Cryo, so I was kind of just using that and going about it. I got a 4-drop, and of course I get the blue with 1 Cryo drop. This boss infuriated me so much. But moving into the weapon domain for her, I am just running a simple freeze team. I think it was Cryo had a bonus, if memory serves. So being able to just pull Risley in, because I'm so used to running him on a freeze team wishing show, so putting Dahlia and Qiqi in was just nice. And now we can level up the Kako Subere. All the way... I can never remember. All the way up to level 70. Of course, I have enough stuff that I can actually, like, do a little bit of crafting so that I can get it up to 80. One more run. And now it is the time. I think, honestly, the Qiqi build video, compared to every other build video, granted this is only the 3rd one that I've done, most of them I knew, like, I had all the collection stuff, I had all of, like, the random, like, enemy drops. It was mainly boss materials. But this was the one where it was kind of the opposite. I had all the boss drops done. And it was a lot of just getting the gemstones because cryo is the worst to farm. I think outside of like Regisvine and the hypostasis and all of that, like so few actually use them. And also violet grass just sucks to farm. So like I never actively went out of my way to collect it, so which is why I have to do it now in the video. But it was so interesting because it's like, oh, okay, like Nahida, I had to just fight the Dendro hypostasis a whole bunch. For Aoife, it was the stupid lava dragon. And now, this is going to be the only time that I show the actual, like, farming part of getting all the stupid Samaturals, because they have to be just, like, the worst things ever to farm. Seriously. And I didn't even need too many. And I know people are going to ask this in the comments, well, why don't you just craft them? They keep saying that you can craft them. It's simply because I do have an entire, like, document, like an Excel spreadsheet, keeping up with all of the materials that I need for mainly just character ascensions. So I'm trying not to just, because this is something that I can do, and like sometimes I do have time to just go around and, you know, go through what I'm going to call the Samatural Gauntlet. I don't mind taking the time, and then, you know, if I need to, I can always go back and do it, but I will, you know, make sure that I don't have too much of what I need, and I will craft, but right now, I'm like, I have the time, and this was kind of one of the main things that I had left to do, other than, you know, being mad because I'm getting no cryo drops. So I was like, you know what? This is going to give content. These stupid Samaturals that are just annoying, and so few of them actually dropped the blue book or the blue scrolls that they needed to drop. And it was just so annoying. I need to find, like, because, like, the thing is they are spread out all over Stormterror, like, so far. And it's just, like, trying to, like, get it is just, like, annoying. Also, I kept my Flynn's team. I'm not sure why. I could have probably picked a different team. But also, Flynn's is, like, the lowest of my mains. He's the only one still at 80. So I was like, you know what? Why not? Yeah, like, it only takes you to Mondstadt, like Storm Terror, go once into Dragon Spine, then it takes you to Inazuma. And again, we're just continuing to beat up so many Khaenri'ahs. It's 100% fine. Into Sumeru, which it's like, I think this is the only one that they give you in Sumeru. And like, technically this isn't all of them, I think, but for some reason they're like, we're gonna give you this one in Sumeru. And finally, there's more in Economia, so we had to go back. Every time I come back to this place, it's only to fight the boss, and then I hate everything. And yes, I did die because the stupid Abyss Mage had to be cryo and piss me off. Seriously, I hate this thing. But it is Thursday now. Back in the talent domain. I believe this is talent domain. Because honestly, I just need to get the rest of the stuff for the talents. A little bit of crafting. We can get the burst up to level 6. Back in again. And now we can get her normal skill up to level 5. And of course, more searches for the forbidden curse scrolls. I promise, I did save it so that you would not have to watch all of these fights. But I do some crafting just to make things easier. Leveled up Qiqi's plume, which it actually rolled. It rolled really well if I ran her on Fav, but I'm planning on running her on Sac, so like crit isn't really necessary. But we are back in more of the talents, and look at that. We are so close to getting the guides to prosperity. And now, after dealing with the Frostlight Hera pissing me off because it was a nightmare to get any cryo drops, again, I know I can run the hypostasis, I can run the Registine, but both of them require, like, you're going to only run it for cryo, so I try to do the ones that you don't need cryo for. So I did go in with a little bit of a melt team. I pulled Xinyan back out because Xinyan is OG main of mine. I used to run her and Kaya, and that used to be my team. It unintentionally ran a melt team. It's fine. But also, too, I can keep Xiangling. I can use her for off-go pyro, which is good against with Risley. And then I can keep Qiqi on the team. Yes, this fight does take a while, because again, not all of my characters are super built, but you know what? It's fine. Also, the Geo Bishop can suck it, too. This is where the curse gets good, because I finally got a chunk. And I got a 3 pull, which isn't great. And then my luck goes away, but at least I'm still getting the jade ones. And then after 3 times, because it was a pyro one, I think I gave up. No, I didn't. I did one more run at the Geo Bishop, got a little bit more jade, then just started getting a little bit better. But we have one more day of collecting curse scrolls, and we finally did it. Now it is. I actually genuinely was unsure if I was in the right domain or not, which is why I only did 20, and then I immediately went back in because I just wasn't sure. And now I can craft everything up, and we now have a level 90 Kagotsubare Ishin. I went back to the Frostlight Hera. I genuinely think I forgot that I fought this earlier in the week. I don't know why. Or maybe I was just like, you know what? It's good enough. Because I genuinely was trying to find any boss that was like, they drop cryo chunks, but the people that need the boss drops aren't cryo. That's kind of what I was mainly looking for. Also, this could have been because I saw some leaks. That's all I'm gonna say is this is a boss for a leaked character or a future character, and then I think I was like, oh, okay, yeah, let's like run this. I genuinely sometimes am unsure what like my methodology is in this game, because would it have been easier to run the cryo Registine a bunch? Yes, I need a lot of those. But any character that I'm building is going to need them, so. If I can kind of do a little bit of preemptive farming, then just pre-farming. You know, I'm gonna try to pre-farm. I'm gonna try to make it a little bit easier. There's a reason I had so many Geo, like, Ascension materials, and it's all because of the Tourmaline. And I don't want to think about having to go back and fight that thing to level up Charlotte. But yeah, this fight takes me a while because this stupid Hera gets down to this low, and then I literally cannot get it. Like, it's just the worst. But we finally get it. And it was for naught. because I got 2 slivers. New boss because we're desperately trying to find any boss that drops Jade. We're at the Inquisitus Baptist. I believe this is just the boss for Kirada and Baiju. So I was like, you know what? It's Dendro. You know, the only people that are using it is Dendro. It doesn't even drop any Dendro. It drops like everything else. So I was like, okay. Yeah, this works. Also, this was like recently in Stygian. It should still be in Stygian. So I was like, you know what? Let's go fight it. It did take a while for me to find a good team. And I was like, you know what? I run Risley with him against him. I'm like, I'll just do it again and die. But fortunately, I have C6 Barbara. Give me a free heal. I know the main reason I run her because I don't really care about running freeze, but I think actually you do need Hydro in this because of when he goes into pyro mode. I'm not sure. But we continue to get nothing, and I'm at the point that I just give up and decide to just switch everything up, use up all of my Dust of Azoth, and finally have enough to almost ascend Qiqi. But it's so little that instead I just run around and get some experience for her. I get some of the whistles from Mavuika, and now we can finally ascend Qiqi. This was the most irritating part of this entire build. But now we are actually in the ocean-hued clam domain to try to see if we have any luck. I'm not confident. I'm gonna say that. I'm also saying this in hindsight, but like, I don't get lucky in the domains often. And like, while yes, I could probably just run anything on Qiqi so long as it's a 4-piece, I kind of want to make sure that I'm running good pieces for her. And we don't really get it with a double defense and low crit rate, 2 different flat stats, and look at that, a bunch of low stats. And now we head into the strongbox. I actually sped this up because every time I do strongbox or anything involving my 5-star artifacts, I always end up second guessing myself. And I'm like, is it good? Is it not? I'm not sure. Could it work as an off piece for someone? But I don't want to have a bunch of like mid to bad artifacts sitting around. So I put them in strongbox and hope for something decent, but usually I get more junk. And then as I'm going through, I contemplate whether I should keep it or not. Honestly, this piece isn't that good, and I don't know why I fully kept it. This isn't even, like, I contemplate that EM piece because I'm like, EM is hard to find, but, like, the substats weren't great. Do another run and another EM piece. But we do have enough where we can level up Qiqi's feather. And we have enough to do at least a couple more runs. I'm not even kidding. I got so many good husk pieces. Maybe it's because it's all defense. I actually have an entire set for Yunjin already. And I might make a build video of her in the future. I honestly questioned that flower so much. I think I actually end up getting rid of it because it had EM over ER, and there's just not a lot of geo reactions that you can do, so running EM on a geo character isn't really worth it. One last run, and it's all husk with the exception of the goblet. And we end it with bad. We have built Qiqi. Honestly, it's been a little bit longer. Mainly because sometimes it takes me a minute to edit. I'm really bad at editing. Okay. I'm gonna trust that I know I had it in the beginning. This is what our Qiqi is working with now. 2,500 attack. I want you to know how stacked she kind of is. I do have a leveled up flower and a leveled up plume on her, an attack sands, another built attack sands, and a healing bonus. It's not even for attack or just straight attack. It is attack, attack, healing bonus. Because, again, her regeneration and her healing relies on her attack. So again, super easy to build. We have her level 80. Crit is not looking the best, but honestly, I'm running her on attack percent. Right now I'm running her on Kago Subare Ishin, but like I'll be running her on sack. So crit isn't super necessary. 144 ER. I could probably do a higher ER. But again, I'm running Kago Subare. If I was running sack, she loses like 400 attack, but then gains like 60% ER. So just something to keep in mind. But this is how I built her. I did build her with Ishin. Still only a 2-piece ocean hued clamp because nothing else came up good. This isn't really good, but that crit damage and the crit rate, you can't complain about. I have an EM piece that's not really that great because she doesn't really EM. Again, EM defense. Talents are all up to level 6. That is how Qiqi is looking. Let's run her up against Masanori again and see what she's working with now. Like, are you technically supposed to fight this dude every day? Okay. So her burst is doing about 1,100, even though we are in the Bennett circle. And even our normal seems to be doing about a couple, like 1,000 or so, which is pretty good. And kind of the grouping that I want to run is like melt. So of course, like some of this is going to get procced by that, but like even some of like Risley's are only doing like 2,000. So it's not necessarily that Qiqi is doing bad. Okay, skill is like 3,000. Again, I don't think I have the best build for her, and also I have her running on kind of more of a healer build than like a DPS build. But a couple of the things that I'm looking at is like she's still like, even when she's on field, which she does off field damage, she is still like doing pretty good in terms of like helping out the team and whatnot. Like when she has to be out on field, she is a little bit glass cannony, but also I did take the like, look at that. Look how quickly we were like at like a couple hundred. And that's kind of more of what I want to look at, is because ultimately she is a healer. Like, we're going to hit her skill. We're going to let this work. We're going to let it do its I think, like, we're healing 5,000 like every couple seconds. Now, you could say that that's kind of slow, but I think it's, you know, fairly decent because in this, and again, it is for whoever is on field. So I can understand that it would maybe not be the best thing in the world. But again, a lot of people are like, oh no, I lost my 50-50 on Qiqi. And it's like, she can work fairly well, but ultimately it wasn't even an issue of I'm going to make her out to be this super strong character and force everyone to like, you know, start becoming like a Qiqi evangelist. It's like, you have to play Qiqi. I did this because I owe it to her. I owe it to Qiqi for giving me some of the best pulls I have ever gotten in this game. Every time that I have pulled Qiqi on a 50-50, I've had incredibly good luck on the guarantee. Whether it be an incredibly low pity or getting my first ever double. That is going to be it for this video. I know this one's kind of weird because like no one is watching this to be like, well, how does Qiqi work? How can I build her? But I think honestly, in terms of a character that's really easy to build, especially if you're just starting out, again, a healer based on attack. And you might be like, well, I can use Bennett. But honestly, I kind of just would rather have Bennett doing the attack. Like, getting the attack bonus for him. As opposed to doing healing. Now, it can work either way because both of them are on field. Whoever is on field is the one that is doing it. But it's also super easy to build her because honestly, you could switch Kago Subare Ishin to anyone else or build an attack percent one and it does a lot of healing. I can switch her onto ER and it would just help get her burst out more often, but like more attack. I could run this theoretically maybe even on Arahizan. Like it's not necessarily like she's fairly easy to build. Granted, the issue you're gonna run into, I think, is her set. But I will say this, with this build, she does have the most attack out of any character that I own. My Flynn's is at 2458. Qiqi is at 2572. I want that to set in. I want that to set in. I have built Qiqi to be the highest base attack on my team. Now you might be like, well, it's still not good, but yeah. This was honestly just like a really fun like video that I wanted to make. And again, I wanted to make it for Qiqi. Because, you know, I feel like everyone shits on her all the time. And I'm like, there are worse characters out there to get than Qiqi. Like, let's be honest. There are definitely some worse ones. But, I hope you guys enjoyed. Also, let me know in the comments who you would like to see me build next. I was gonna go elsewhere and then I realized I could just do this. I have a lot of characters that still need to be built up. I still have Chloron. Shout outs to Chloron. Who's moved up to level 60, by the way. But I have plenty of characters that still have not been built. And Venti is still at level 1. Lanyon's 20 jail. Kaching might stay in level 20 jail because the fangirl had to come home instead of the actual Rex Lapis. So thanks for that. But I have some characters that I have some stuff in mind for. And I don't think I will do anything with these characters just yet. The ones in the 80 camp. But like we have so many characters to build. So I would love to hear from you guys who you would maybe want to see me build next. That's going to be it. Hope you guys enjoyed. And I will see you next time. Bye.